Hello mares! Welcome back to my Let's Play SimCity BuildIt series. This is Blocks, and today we're starting a big city reorganisation, so let's crack on with my plans for that. Last episode I talked a bit about how I wanted to move things around and make my city more visually interesting and appealing, particularly in this kind of area down here. And I've got a couple of ideas and thought a bit since then about what kind of things I could do, and I want to get your feedback on those before I go kind of too much further. So I've started to think about both the entrance to my city here and the kind of approach way we've got, so think about, let's imagine, Sims or tourists driving along this motorway or freeway here, taking a look in at the city. Oh, what's that? Oh, look at these cool buildings, all that kind of stuff, and things that they can see. And my first idea was to try and get a bunch of almost, kitsch sort of roadside attractions, sort of Route 66 style Americana. If we pop to the parks menu, I'll show you kind of what I mean. So I'm thinking like, a road alongside the city, and then on that road we would put like interesting parks and sort of, kitsch style stuff. So I'm thinking, like this Larry the Llama park here. You can see it's a funny looking thing. It appeals to that sort of sense of kitsch style stuff. World's largest ball of twine here, another one. That's a really funny one. What else have we got in the menu here? Maybe the water park playgrounds, kind of out on a road or a motorway you'd go to. Giant garden gnome, another one. And then and probably the most obvious, Dolly the dinosaur here. Like some really fun kind of buildings to look at. So we could have the road I've got along here right now that's running there, and then pop the parks kind of on this side where I've got the commercial buildings at the moment. Or we could put the road right up against the dotted lines and then put the parks on this side. But my instinct is that, thinking again about those kind of Sims or tourists, they're driving past and they could see the back of stuff along here, and that would be kind of, maybe intriguing for them, and they'd be like, oh yeah, hey, let's go and visit that. And it's almost like a tourist attraction or something they might, if they live in the city, they might visit on the weekend. So that's the first kind of idea. The second thing I want to talk about was having maybe a big sort of thematic kind of area. So we would do something like, let's go for entertainment, I think it'll be in, and having stuff like, this expo centre or the stadium or the Sydney Opera House, those big statement buildings, not landmarks, but things that, Sims and tourists might visit. So like a, futuristic expo and stuff you see in cities like that could go there. So depending on kind of which one it is, I want to use a different kind of road. So let's go and take a look at roads for a second. So I've put down here all of the different 6 road types right now. So down this end we've got 2-lane roads, we've got the 4-lane roads, we've got the 6-lane roads, then we've got the avenues, the boulevards, and the streetcar avenues. And trying to think about that, sort of entrance road as being something that isn't quite in the city. It's sort of on the city limits. It's a place that Sims could kind of get to, and that sort of Route 66 style thing. Would it be an old style almost kind of freeway thing? Could we do this the 6-lane road, or would it be sort of old and broken down, and maybe we'd have sort of a mix of 2- and 4-lane roads, and how would they look kind of mixed together? But I think I'm ruling out for that kind of idea these kind of the better roads, I guess, because they feel like stuff that's more inside a city. I mean, maybe the avenue, the one that one there, but I think the streetcar avenue and the boulevards, they're in the middle now, I think they're just a bit too they're suited to kind of being in a city. It's that kind of thing. You've got that walkway for Sims to go along, you've got streetcars, like public transport and stuff to get Sims around. That's not the kind of thing you see on a freeway or an entrance to a city. So that's kind of where I was going. The other idea I had and I talked about was the sort of Parisian style vineyards area, and let's start making that happen. Actually, I've prepped an area down here, so we're going to move some of the old industrial factories and buildings. We're going to dump them down here out of the way for now, make sure they're still connected to the road network. So I've put roads in already, and I want to talk a little bit actually while I'm doing this about kind of what's going on with my channel at the moment, because I know a bunch of you were expecting to see and have been asking for my Should You Build It episodes for all the recent Rio Carnival and Lunar New Year parks. And I'm really sorry, they were supposed to be uploaded over last weekend, but for those of you that follow me on Twitter or Facebook, I popped a sort of just an update for you. So I don't know if you caught that, then then great, you'll know. But unfortunately, last Thursday my wife came down with a really horrible stomach bug, and then our 1-year-old daughter, she caught it a couple of days later. So it's been really tough at home, just kind of making sure that she's okay. I've been off work looking after both of them, and obviously my family's health is priority number one. So that's why you haven't seen any videos. Sorry, but life is kind of what it is, and that's the way it goes. But they are on the road to recovery now. They're much better. So that's a weight off my mind, and kind of a worry out of the way. And I should find hopefully time to record the bits I still need for those episodes and try and get them out to you over the next 2 days before that limited time content ends, because I know it's not long now, and I want to get those to you because I promised to do them, and I don't like kind of letting people down if I've said I'll do something. So there will be, I think there's 10 or 11 new parks in total, so there will be a lot of videos over the next few days if I get a chance to do that tonight. So if that does get a lot of stuff in your subscriber feeds, then sorry, hopefully it won't be too spammy and it'll be okay. But like I said, I'd rather get those episodes out to you because they will be there then as a resource if you wanted to use them to look at before the limited time content ends. So what I'm going to do, I'll keep moving the rest of these buildings now, the power stations and stuff, and popping them down here out of the way, and then I will pop back when I've moved the Parisian vineyards, these ones here that I've kind of got stored up, when I've moved them up to the mountainside. You can kind of see the kind of area I want to start building. Okay, and we're back, mares. I've moved all of the factories and garbage dumps and all that other horrible stuff that creates dirty radiuses away from the residential zones. Put them down here, out of the way for now. Let's head back up and look at the space I've created. So we've got an area here, and I've removed all of the segments of big road that were in this area. Just popped a new little 2-lane road in there. And you can see to do that, I cut off the big roads by putting a 2-lane road across here, just wiggling along, and then chopping off the end. So like we're doing with this one here, and this is the same process for if you needed to upgrade a road, say, and you just wanted to do one segment of it, then let's say I wanted to upgrade this one here, I could just tap that and do that segment rather than the whole road here, which would obviously cost a lot more. So you can kind of save yourself some simoleons in the short term, upgrade that segment, and then move on. We're actually going to just bulldoze this whole area. So we're going to take out that one. That's a 2-lane road, so no refund. We are going to bulldoze this bit. We do get a refund of 900 simoleons for that. It's not massive to us. We've got 1.6 million almost right now. And then I want to pop these little residential buildings in. So let's put this first one up here. And this will start to create a almost mountainside, little almost sort of vineyards, plantations, Sims growing their own crops and stuff feel to this area, and we can sort of rotate them around there like I did with that one. So these buildings, both these two here, are exactly the same. You can see there, but just rotating them a little bit gives a different effect. So I just dragged my finger slightly across the screen to turn that one to face this road here that runs that way rather than that road here that runs that way. Hopefully that makes sense and you can kind of see that. Then let's put, we are going to run into health and police and all those kind of problems and waste management stuff because none of this area has been covered before because it's never had residential buildings in. I do want to put one more building in just up here so you can kind of get the feel for sort of what I'm doing. Let's take a road off there, and then we could just leave a space by the house, and perhaps if we come in kind of that way, and then we can put another one of these houses. There is one I've got in here that's different. Let me see if I can pick it out by zooming. It's difficult with all these bubbles right now. It must be this one, right? Is it that one? Or the, oh yeah, we've got two of those actually. Cool. Let's grab that one. And bring him over here. And pop him down just there, I think. Yeah, and then you see you're starting to get this kind of feel of, you know, the mountains area has started to, you know, be inhabited by people in little cottages, and then as you move down into the hilly side and into the sort of almost city suburbs, you get these lovely little vineyards and Sims kind of growing their own food and that kind of feel. So yeah, I'll keep designing that area and we'll take a look at it properly next episode, and I'll sort all this power, waste management, water. Oh, power. Capacity is 174, demand is 161. Oh, we must not be reaching them all. There must be one missing on a road. Oh yeah, it's this one over here, isn't it? Okay. Well, let's just move that one then. And I have got one other thing I wanted to show you. I got a Vu's Tower quest pop up in my city the other day, and I just actually unleashed another disaster, and I got this one. This was a 7 keys disaster, and I got it for 1 Vu's remote and a couple of the batteries and the gloves, obviously. But yeah, 1 Vu's remote for 7 golden keys. That's amazing. Do go and check out my video on how to get the best out of your Vu's Tower as well, which you can do afterwards. I'll put a link in the description and one of those cards on the video. So yeah, Vu's Tower one, is it this one? Yes, it is here, yeah. So Vu Tower, just got this one. Mayor, my old assistant had a small accident. Would you care to help me in a couple of experiments? And if you tap show more here, you can see I've actually done Unlock Meteor Strike 2 already, and I've obviously launched way more than 5 disasters and repaired way more than 10 disaster zones because I've got a level 18 tower. I've done that lots of times, but they don't auto fill in. Like those start from when you've done it, but I couldn't go back and unlock Meteor Strike 2 again. I've already done that. So yeah, you can see here I don't get to auto complete that disaster, which is kind of interesting. Some of the other ones you kind of, you will do depending on which ones they are. So like the Parisian quarters here, actually just tap that one again. Like if I'd already built Eiffel Tower or Arc de Triomphe, it would be in my city and it would just give me that, and that would be fine. And then this one up here, I was doing, oh, it's a Tokyo Town one. I thought I had an upgrade one. I must have completed that then. Why can't I tap show more? Here we go. There we go, yeah, cool. So I've already built Himeji Castle, and I do want to get a couple of the Sakura Parks and stuff and pop them in, but let's worry about those next episode. And if you've got any ideas for this kind of sort of vineyard area, if you like the layout, or you think I could do things a little bit differently, create some space that's kind of interesting there, and I want to have it sort of stretching down this way into the city, so it's going to be quite big eventually. Certainly probably at least another 50% of the buildings I've got here right now, and I've already gathered together six or seven, I think, so I'm thinking like maybe 10 little residential zones. And let me know what you think about the road along here as well. Do you want to see like a big expo centre? Do you want to sort of the kitsch style parks with the Dolly the dinosaur and all those kind of cool things? What do you think about that idea, and how would it look in my city? Because we could obviously stick in these sort of things and stuff like that. But anyway, that's it. I'm waffling now, I think, so I'm going to stop doing that. I hope you have a great day, Mayors. Do look out for those Should You Build It episodes starting later on today. There will be quite a lot of them together quite quickly over the next few days, just so I can get them out to you. And I hope you enjoy them. I hope that they're useful, and I will see you next time.